pledge allegiance to the flag,
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
roll call, please.
Counselor Eater,
Here.
Counselor Astorga is absent. Counselor Donahue here. Counselor Otter.
Here.
Counselor Hooper here. Counselor Vasquez
Here.
Counselor Fowle
Here.
Mayor Wall.
Here. Okay, do we have any correspondence? And we have looked at a presentation from Stephanie Fenton. Is she with us?
She was supposed to be with us this evening, but she has not popped up on Zoom yet.
Okay,
She's not here in person either, so I'm not sure what, there's a hang up or.
I will try to see if she has a cell phone, an email. I know her mom was getting out of a care home facility, so it's possible that there's complications. Oh, yeah, here, let me see if I can. Find her. You guys are, okay, oh, I'll call her.
Your 415 number.
well, let's just skip down to, while we're just sitting here. We have a lot on our agenda tonight, to the payment approval report for May 2023. And I'll just go around starting with yes, Councilor Powell. Councilor Vasquez, nothing. Councilor Donahue,
She's probably one of the, well, maybe with you guys. Which one of these is for the new phone system? Is it the NEC Cloud?
Yeah, where is it specifically?
Back at page 14. Is that the new phone system?
Yes.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, well, charges for the new phones.
That's just installed. For installing a month or so, or is it just?
I think there's monthly charges there
They probably did it all in one.
and some, as it says, some supplies and stuff. So
I agree with that.
it will even out.
That's all.
okay. Councilor Rapp,
That was my question too.
okay.
I'm good.
He's good. Okay. Here you have an update for us.
She said the Zoom link that she had wasn't working, so I'm gonna try to connect and then send her this. Make sure the link that I have works and then.
Okay, so we're just gonna keep going until we get that figured out. We have item number 8, we have 3 sets of minutes. We have city council meeting minutes of May 1st. Special city council meeting minutes of May 8th. And budget committee meeting minutes of whatever that was. So. Anyone have any questions or corrections? And Council Hooper?
No.
Good. Council Powell?
I need another minute.
Okay. Council Vasquez, anything? Council Donahue? Council Rock?
No.
Oh, I'm still. He's good, okay. Then I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Paul, second by Council Eater. For the consent agenda, roll call please.
Voting in progress.
Counselor Bob. Aye. Counselor Vasquez.
Aye.
Counselor Eager.
Aye.
Counselor Hooper. Aye. Scoria. Aye. Counselor Donahue. Aye. Counselor Hop.
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay. Let's move to, we have a discussion item under item 9, unfinished business. Hampton on publicly owned property, and I ask the city manager to lead us in that discussion.
Okay, well, it's gonna be a very short discussion unless council has a lot they want to discuss about this. In regards to the Oregon law changes and all that, and our previous discussions and the handout that I gave everyone in regards to guides to persons that's experiencing homelessness in public spaces. I've contacted, as I mentioned before, our city attorney's office and asked them for a comprehensive review of our city code as it relates to this particular issue. Our city attorney has returned with only 2 recommendations, which I think is pretty cool. One is she suggested that we work on our definition of a park just a little bit to firm that up. And I have that specific language and all that on my email, but nothing that I was prepared to bring to council tonight. And then she suggested repealing our juvenile curfew code. There's already an existing state statute that covers juvenile curfew, and we can enforce that. As it relates to juvenile curfew under city code, it becomes an 8th Amendment issue, cruel and unusual punishment. And that's pretty much where this issue has come down to. So, you know, we by policy do not take kids into custody on status of. We don't arrest them. We don't put handcuffs on them. We don't put them in cars. And so there's a kind of an 8th Amendment issue surrounding perhaps a homeless teen, if you will, that might have gotten thrown out of their house and have no place else to go. So we might find them sleeping, camping, or otherwise resting on city property after curfew. And we don't want to punish them unduly for something that they didn't really create themselves. So at a future council session, I'll be bringing a repeal to our juvenile curfew because state statute curfew is just fine enough for. We further discussed this just a bit. Our code does cover these types of situations as it relates to time, place, and manner. You know, we have a limitation already to people sleeping in a vehicle on the street to 3 days. And if they wish to do it any longer than that, then they have to submit for a permit or permission from me at City Hall. We can definitely tell people how long they can camp, sleep, or whatever within our parks. And so by coming up with some policy, I think we can deal with that very, very well. And so does our city attorney. So they're very satisfied with where we're at and the work that council and city staff has done on the code in the recent years as it relates to parking, camping, and that. So that's where we're at.
Okay. Has that been run by CIS or talked to
Well,
them at all, or,
CIS has had no guidance on this issue at all.
okay.
And so that's why I sought counsel from our city attorney
Okay,
versus CIS, because although CIS will likely defend us in any type of tort claim related to a variety of different issues, as it directly relates to our code, CIS is going to remain pretty silent on that. And that's the direction that our officers and our city staff are going to be operating under the city code. So that's why I went to the city attorney's office I'm quite honest, there's been no guidance on this issue whatsoever from CAS, even League of Oregon Cities. Because none of this has been litigated at all. So we could anticipate seeing something from a community somewhere at some point after July 1st. But at least as far as we're concerned, and as far as our city attorney is concerned, we're in pretty good shape.
So can you clarify something for me? So we're talking as it relates to city property. How does some of this relate to public streets? And I would assume there's something obviously for private property.
Actually, private property, it has nothing to do with private property. What happens on private property is, on private property. So if somebody decides that they want to do that, then there's code that will have to apply. So we can talk about public right of way. So like a parking spot out in front of the library or city hall. Other than other parking code issues that might arise, we would only be able to allow them to stay there for basically 3 days. That's what code says. And then at that 72-hour mark, then they need to apply for that to stay there. And so we're basically doing exactly what they're asking us to do, which is regulate time, place, and manner, and to be reasonable about it. And I have no doubt that my staff will be absolutely reasonable when it comes to any of these issues.
So I'm just curious, so when somebody comes, parks in front of your house, starts sleeping there, there's a 3-day limit.
There's a 3 day.
Okay. Any other questions on this? I like this solution better than what I thought we'd be getting, so.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, you still, oh, we're here. Okay, then I'm going to jump back to item number 5, which is a presentation from Stephanie Fenton, Mount Angel Towers, about sewer rates. So, good evening, Stephanie.
Good evening. Thank you so much for giving me the time today. I would like to share my screen to show this presentation. So I'm hoping that this works. So you'll have to tell me if you can see it. Can you see a presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you so much for giving me some time this evening. What I wanted to discuss with you tonight was just a reminder of what Mount Angel Towers is, for those of you who might not know. Discussion about commercial sewer charges and some requests for your consideration. So up the street for the last about 50 years has been a retirement community, Mount Angel Towers, made up of 163 independent living apartments, 29 assisted living apartments, a full community dining room. We have daily mass, loads of activities and transportation to shopping and physician appointments and outings. It's really a senior living community that's very typical of what's offered today. The thing that's different about our community is it's still family owned and family run. And I'm the member of the family that's doing that at present time. So like many of you, COVID was very, very hard on senior living and on many businesses. And we had to change our operations a lot. We did it to keep our residents safe. We did it to do our best to be good citizens of this town, because it's really important to try and contain any outbreaks. And we did things like stop communal dining and create room service for about 18 months and sanitize the entire building 4 times a day. And we shut down all of our marketing tours for about 9 months and then limited tours to just the wings for the next 9 months. We really limited visitors. We worked closely with the county and the Department of Health in the state. We conducted weekly COVID testing in our building for over 2 years and held vaccine clinics. And the net result of that is we really were very lucky. We had no residents die in 2020 and no resident illnesses, only staff illnesses. We did have residents ill during Delta and Omicron, and we had only 1 resident death, which was still a heartbreak for us. We did work a lot of the time with very limited staff because we sent staff home immediately when they got ill. And we really limited any new residents that came in. And the long and the short of it is it's had a lasting business impact on us, as it has across senior living communities. So our move-ins declined. We had a regular course of move-outs, and then even more so because some people really wanted to avoid any social interaction. And like many of you in your businesses, our operating costs went up dramatically in order to do the things we needed to do. The net result is we've ended this kind of very difficult period with a significant change in our average vacancy rate. Our vacancies are just higher than they've been historically. So we have to contend with much lower vacancies and the same or increasing costs. And so I've been doing a lot of work trying to understand those costs. And in the course of doing that, I realized that for our sewer costs, there's a rate setting methodology that's being used where we're charged 236 ERUs, which is equivalent residential unit for the 193 apartments we have. And I wanted to talk with you about the 3 big assumptions that I found underneath that may not be true. And so I'm asking for your consideration of these assumptions. So they are in order. An ERU is based on a single family home, but I believe each of our dwellings creates less wastewater than a single family home. And I'll show you that in a moment. We're being charged for wastewater as if we're 100% full, but we've had 30% vacancies for some time now. And the ERU assessment for us is more than the total number of apartments we have. So let me go into that in turn. So is one equivalent residential unit the same as an apartment? Well, a single family home is occupied by between 1 and 6 people. And so that's wastewater for those number of people. Their showers, their human waste, their kitchen, washing machine, dishwasher. Each of our apartments just has a kitchenette, and by and large, they are occupied by 1 person. Only 17 of our 193 apartments have 2 occupants, and none of the apartments have their own dishwasher and washing machine. So I question whether 1 ERU is the same as 1 apartment in the towers. As I looked at the analysis of it for the kitchen, really a kitchen in a single family house is producing much more wastewater than 1 apartment in the towers. The bathroom wastewater is at least double, if not 4 to 6 times that of an apartment in the towers. And there's no washing machine in our apartments, but of course, many homes have washing machines. So I just want to consider that 1 ERU is not the same as 1 apartment in the towers, yet it's being charged that way. The second point is we're charged as if we're 100% full, and we are not. Unfortunately, it has taken us longer than I anticipated to recover from the vacancy rates that we developed during the COVID time. And vacant apartments just do not generate wastewater. So we're billed as if we're 100% full, but we are actually not. We are 30% vacant and we have been for some time now, almost 2 years. The third point that I'm hoping for your consideration on is that we are charged for 236 ERUs for our 193 apartments. Now the Towers has a commercial kitchen and we have 25 washing machines for our building of 193 units. And I'm just not sure if the commercial kitchen and the washers are the equivalent of 43 single-family homes worth of wastewater. So with that, I'm going to make 3 requests for your consideration. I'm hoping that the City Council would please consider first granting us some sewer charge relief in the short term. We're asking for a credit, not a refund, for 30% of our bills for some past time. Past 6 quarters is what I'm targeting here. And a reduction of 30% of the bill until a new sewer charge system is established, or about 18 months. I don't know how long it would take to do that, but I'm asking for you to grant us some relief because we are not 100% full, but we are being charged as if we are. I am hoping also that you will look at different ways to charge for sewer in the future, charging for actual usage via relative water meter use or some other actual charges. And the third thing I'm asking for your consideration is if you would consider making public the sewer rate methodology used for each of the commercial businesses in the city so that we can just have that visibility. So with that, I just thank you for your time in considering these requests. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see your faces again and be available to answer questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you.
I have one.
Okay, I'm gonna,
So Stephanie, how many employees do you have that use, I'll just, for better terms, use the toilet?
It's a great question. So we have about 50 employees that are in the building during the day, in various shifts. And I think that's an excellent point. We do have employees in the building, but it does not double the population of the building as a single family residence would typically, right? Because most single family residents, I think, are 2.3 people. But if you considered the population of our building and considered our staff, it does not double the population of the building.
But it does add to the wastewater, of course.
Can you say that again, sir?
It does add to the wastewater and whatever else the facilities are using.
It does add, but pardon me, the standard of one ERU assumes about 2.3 people because that's single family home, and our staff does not double the resident population.
I think my question was for Alan. The towers are already on water meter, right?
Yes.
So I'm just curious is why the methodology on the ERUs versus the way, and I know there's gotta be a reason compared to like a standard house. Standard house is water in, water out, basically. And so I'm just curious, what changes for commercial,
Water usage, I believe.
right? But if it's still water in, water out, I'm curious why we would make these calculations based on ERUs versus.
Well, we talked to Steve about it. He related to SDCs in some way.
Well, let me just say, I tried to research the number that was assigned to this account and I couldn't find any calculation. We have no set reason, methodology, nothing. So this is just historical information that sometime somebody assigned this number. I have no idea why.
That,
But
that was my curiosity, because obviously Stephanie, you know. I see your point, but at the same time, like. I don't know how we would be able to start working and worrying about what your occupancy rate was every quarter. And make adjustments or anything like that, so if there was some other methodology that could remain more constant or more equitable, that would, you know.
And I know that sometimes, like, I think City of Silverton, even for their residential units, their sewer charge is based on their water usage. So I believe their sewer charge fluctuates with how much water they use. So that is a formula that could potentially be looked at.
And it would take the vacancy rate out of the equation.
Yeah.
Because vacancies wouldn't be using water.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Stephanie, this is Mark Daniel. I have just a real quick clarifying question. So the 193 figure, is that the actual apartments, or does that include the health center and the residents that aren't, you know, in independent living?
It includes the health center and the residents that are not in independent living. So that's the all-in number,
Okay,
or basically what we would call beds.
right. Okay, that's what I needed clarification. I just wasn't sure. Thank you.
Can I say something to the gentleman who spoke before?
Sure.
I'm not suggesting that the city should adopt a methodology that now and forever takes into account vacancy rates such that we would check in with each other regularly. I'm suggesting that up to now, we've used this constant number, and that constant number doesn't take into account basically water waste created or vacancies. And I guess that's point one, and point two is whatever methodology is used, it sort of seems like the same methodology could be or should be used across the board, across the commercial board. And I think the one question is for all the commercial businesses in town that create wastewater, could water usage be a, I guess, proxy? I guess I don't know how, for example, the Oktoberfest works, where I think that they have to balloon their facilities over a period of time and then they shrink them back down. That may be a different problem and not the problem I want to speak to today, but when we talk about sort of set methodologies, commercial methodologies, it does seem like they have to apply across the commercial entities that are in the city, I would think. And I don't know if that's the case or if that's the rule. I don't know if there's actually a methodology set that differs from business to business.
Do we have any businesses that are for some reason not metered on their water usage?
I'm sorry,
There's no businesses in town that are not metered for water usage?
they're all metered.
I have to say, if you're including Oktoberfest, they don't have a water meter because
No.
they're just
Sorry.
shells,
Yeah.
right? Like they don't use water. They serve beer and they have porta potties.
Right.
So
Right, okay, so anything that utilizes indoor plumbing for the business.
they're
It's
metered,
metered.
yes, yes.
Stephanie, I have a question that's only somewhat related, but it is related to COVID. Many businesses received, and we can research it, but you could make it easy on us.
I will make it easy, whatever the question is.
Okay, so did the towers receive any monetary or material assistance from the federal or state government during COVID?
We did. We received PPP loans and they helped us tremendously during 2020 and 2021, half of 2021. And ironically, our COVID rate our vacancy rate continued to decline through the end of 2021 and did not recover in 2022. So while we were so fortunate And I'm so grateful that we got help. Like many people in the senior living industry, the reality of recovery has been slower than we anticipated. And one of the reasons why, when I look back, I'm only asking for credit for the time of 6 quarters is because we did get that support. We did get that financial support, and I am not asking to double dip. I just want help where I am right now.
Thank you.
I got it. Stephanie, I have a question. So does your residency, the population, does it have anything to do with staffing? I mean, do you have enough staff that you could take care of more residents? Or
Yes,
you have more
yes.
residents because,
Yes, thanks. That's an excellent question you're asking. There was a time when we actually really suffered in terms of hiring staff. But we actually have a full complement of staff, and I did everything I could to keep everybody employed. Like my goal, and you would have been, I was so proud of our staff when we got to the place when we actually had to make difficult decisions. The staff came to me and said, here's our plan. We want everybody to keep their jobs, and so we're all going to cut back, 2 hours of each shift so that you can keep all of us. And then the COVID money came in, and I was able to then say, okay, everybody who wants to stay stays. And, for as long as I can, pay you when you're out sick, I will do that. So my goal was to keep the staff as secure as I could. Now, I will tell you, we lost staff because some people chose not to work in a community that they considered to be a COVID vulnerable population. But right now, we are fully staffed and we can take all comers.
thank you.
I have one last question. Just so I have an idea of what we're talking about here, what is your sewer bill a month?
It is about $13,400 a month. And so that's about 39,000 plus change for a quarter, every quarter. And Tara, you probably have those exact numbers right in front of you, I bet.
Unfortunately, I don't, because I'm not tied
You know
into
what? Why don't I give you that exact number right
Okay.
now?
Well, that's what she's asking. It's only not quarters, not 30%.
Just give me one moment. Yeah, $13,016, well, $16.93 is the rate, and it's gonna go up. Let's see, it's gonna go up in 2024. So it's 39,000 every quarter.
Thank you.
I'm just wondering, like with the Benedictine and the Orchard House, how their ERUs and if it's a similar calculation for.
I have not compared the Benedictine, but I have compared like Carmelite House. And we all started getting complaints from Carmelite House because we bill them for each apartment that they have for sewer. And they're like, but we have 4 residents. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I have nothing that says I should change it, and I have nothing that says it should be what it is.
Okay, well, we should consistent.
This is kind of an awful comment, but could we reach out to like Capital Manor, because they're similar to the towers, and just see kind of what their program is?
Well, we could reach out to any city and ask them how.
I mean, Capital Manor pretty much mirrors the Mount Angel Towers.
But it would be,
It's a thought.
yeah, but it would be based on what the city they're in charges.
But I mean, if they're fluctuating on how many residents are there, or, you know, I'm just saying, what do they do? And maybe it's just a constant rate.
Yeah, I could definitely, I mean, there's
Just
lots of
a thought.
things I could research.
I wanna join in with that thought. Stephanie, I think we're all taking your request seriously. We have fun, but we do take things seriously here, so, I think we need much more information before we can really consider this. One of them is, I don't understand our ERU, how we come up with that, so I think council needs a little education on how we do that, number one. Number two, my daughter's in that business. And she hasn't complained to me about sewer bills yet, but anyway, there's a number of facilities in this area, Bonaventure, Mount Angel Towers, Capitol Manor. And even other cities have some smaller ones. Those are large ones, but I think we need to know how other cities apply this, apply sewer charges before we can make an intelligent decision. And then, you know, I know we can't go up every month and ask anything, any multifamily or Mount Angel Towers or anyone, what's your vacancy rate this month? But maybe there's a formula or something that some other places apply. I'm not familiar with anything we've ever done that way, but so I think we're at a point where I think we understand your request. I know we understand your request, Stephanie, but we're going to need more information so that we can A, be fair, and B, we're operating a utility that we actually probably should be charging more for. So it's difficult to run a sewer utility. So financially.
Oh,
But,
I'm sure it is. I'm not saying that any of us are having an easy time.
No, and you didn't say that either. But I wanted you to know that we don't do it that way. But anyway, I would like us to get some information. I don't want you to drop everything, but we need more information for us to make an intelligent decision.
So is there a next step for me that I can do, or should I check back with you in a period of time? What would be the appropriate way to follow up?
Well, I think, you know, you can check in with the staff every now and then, find out where they are on getting us that information. And, you know, I think at some point, as soon as we are able, we'd like to schedule you to come back and visit again.
Great. That sounds great. I really appreciate your giving this a fair hearing. I know it's a very hard topic, and I'm actually very heartened that you've given it a fair hearing and that you understand that it's, you know, it's hard. And I can understand. I guess I'm happy to hear that the Carmelite House has brought it up too. Anyway, thank you.
We didn't know about them yet.
Is it appropriate for me? Would you like me to drop off now that I've done this part, or what's the appropriate thing to do?
Excuse me, would you repeat that? I didn't hear.
I've never done this before, and I appreciate that you're gonna invite me back, and I'll be in touch with the staff in the city, but is it appropriate now? Should I just drop off the Zoom call so you do the rest of your business, or what is the appropriate way that I should be?
Well, we have an open meeting, but if you have other things that you'd rather be doing, you can drop off. So, because we won't be discussing this again tonight, so.
Okay, well, I thank you very, very much, and wish you a good rest of your meeting.
Great, thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Okay. Staff, you have any questions about what we're searching for? Or-
I think between all of us, we've taken copious notes and we have a recording to refer back to, so I think we can figure that out.
Great. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. And we are now down to new business. And our first item is rules for rental of city-owned facilities, resolution 1571, which is an action item. So I will turn that over to staff.
Carol?
Okay. We are updating rules for the community room and the parks at this time. And new rules are attached. Are there any questions?
I have one question to start with. What changes have been made in our rules?
A little bit of here and there. I didn't do track changes because it would have been pages and pages, because the original rules included street closures, which we're gonna break off and make a new rules for events, because we need an event permit, because there's lots of people that are using our streets that don't need to close them, and so that's just a whole lot of whack. All of that was taken out. All the set prices were taken out because they no longer were relevant and they've been overruled by
Our fee schedule?
yes, thank you. I can't think of anything specific. I know we talked about maybe putting in rules about barbecues and fires at the park, but that needed to follow what code we already had, so we didn't need to include that. We mostly added more stuff than we took out, didn't we?
I think so. Part of course, I'm the one that started all this mess. Because I was concerned about equity for the use of this room. There seem to be different rules applied to different groups, and I just wanted to make sure that we were being equitable. And so I'm the one that started looking at it, and when I did my research, I saw there was a bunch of stuff that what didn't just apply to me, but to everybody, that was really good practice. And so then Tara kind of took it from there. And we did, I mean, these rules do change how the community room will be used. It will require a staff person to be here if the library is not open. And the reason is because people don't have access to restrooms, and that's a violation of ADA. You can't make somebody go, down the street in a wheelchair and use the porta potty, which is what we've been doing. So, and we can't have the doors open unless there's a staff person on staff, here. So that's the biggest change, I think.
Yeah, when you started talking, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be the one biggest thing.
But there were several things that were missing that were very good practice that would just be safer for the city. And I don't remember exactly what they are either.
Well, we clarified, if kids are left here,
Exactly.
they have to have a certain aged person watching them,
And a certain ratio.
Right.
So
If
one
you'd like-
adult per 15 children, which is actually kind of high, but.
if you'd like, I can send you the track change version.
No,
Okay. All right, sorry.
I read these, I think they seem reasonable, so. Anybody else have any other questions to stir the pot? No? Okay. Okay, then. We have, couple of options. One is to adopt the resolution. One is to
Yeah, I wasn't sure if anybody wanted to make any suggested changes, so I was like, well, if you do, then you're gonna want to adopt it as amended, but Sounds like,
The only thing I could see is the, what is it, one person per 15 kids or something, one adult per 15. That's the only thing that I saw.
it probably depends on how old they are.
Yeah,
It'd be
I guess.
easy if they were 10, but not so easy if they were
Oh, this-
2-year-old.
It depends upon the adult. If it's my wife, she can take like 40. If it's me,
Yeah.
I don't like more than like 4.
That was kind of, I mean, we didn't just pull that out of the air. That was kind of the standard across. I looked at lots of different library policies and then, yeah, so it was kind of the standard, but.
This is really a broad brush stroke, if you will, of best practice for library, parks, and city hall.
I guess Shelley would be the one to ask. Shelley, you do preschool.
Depends on how
Can
qualified
you-
the person is.
Yeah, just say, can you do 15 preschoolers in the park? Is that
Yeah,
reasonable?
Oh, sure.
I can, but not everybody else.
Well, I knew I couldn't, but.
Okay.
Just remember, these are rules, so it's not an infraction per se. I'm not gonna say that.
Worst case scenario, they just.
We
don't
could
teach
take
the
a
park.
poll and see how many each of us think we could.
And then
stand.
average.
Maybe do an average, you
No. I'll make the motion to adopt them. I move to approve the attached resolution updating the rules for rental of city-owned facilities.
Second.
Okay, and we give it to Councilor Hofer, the second, Councilor Fowle made a motion. Councilor Hofer, second, to approve the resolution updating the rules for rental of city-owned facilities. Roll call, please.
Counselor Ott,
Aye.
Counselor Fowl,
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez, Counselor Meader,
Aye.
Counselor Hopper,
Aye.
Counselor Astorga is absent, Counselor Donahue. Aye. Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And now we get into our budget. And the first item is our adoption and appropriations for fiscal year 23-24. Resolution 1572. And I'll turn that over to staff. You have any additional comments? No?
Well, I mean, do you want me to just take it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so before you tonight is, or the resolution is exactly what the budget committee approved. So even the staff requested changes that you've seen in your packet are not included in the resolution. But that's because that's what they approved. From the time that the budget committee approved it and sent it to you, new information has come into staff. I believe Councilor Fowl would also like to have a discussion about a few items. So I'll start with the staff requested changes. So in the library department and allocated public works service, well, let me just. Okay, the public works allocated expenses is challenging because anytime you increase that, like there, I think it's it's 0110. Anytime you increase that, we split those charges and we give it to a little bit to sewer and a little bit to streets and a little bit to water, a little bit to water or storm. So we needed to increase that for the telephone costs that, you know, our upgrade that we did that got missed in our first go around. So that change affects page 36 there. The allocation jumped up. I don't remember what it was before. It was 60 some. Yeah, it was 68,300 and we're moving it up to 71,300. So then that affects all of the storm, sewer, water, and streets fund. So that's what those changes are. I'm sorry if I'm bouncing around, but they're related. And then the same with the library fund, we had to increase theirs by $2,000 because of the telephone. And then their grant or no, sorry, the library regional, we were informed that our estimate was way too high, so we adjusted the revenue down. After. Because we don't know. So all those changes in the general fund affect our contingency and our reserve for future expense. So those numbers had to be adjusted accordingly. And so then, yeah, the only changes in the streets that we're requesting was because of the change in the allocated public works. So when we increase the allocated public works there, the first red number, then we have to reduce our contingency to offset the amount that we're spending. And that would be true for water funds and sewer funds and storm fund. And then, of course, that also adjusts our adopted total fund budget. Do you have any questions on the staff requested changes?
Any questions, anyone? No?
Okay.
No?
I'll open the floor for Counselor Brown.
Yeah.
You would want.
No, I've been on enough ride-alongs with the Columbia County, I don't. So there were 3 changes that, I guess I didn't propose in the right way during the budget meeting. I guess I was proposing them and it was taken as conversation and we passed it anyways. So those were, I'm gonna try to remember. Number 1 is for existing city hall, to increase that number by $50,000 based on the level of issues that Mark is finding. I don't know a better way to put it, but as we dig deeper, we find more issues, we're gonna need some money to address that. So that was the first number. Second number was to go from $50,000 up to $100,000 for the new city hall. Because I believe that we should be putting at least $100,000 a year away towards city hall. Especially now considering the purchase of the property and the fact that the existing space programming master plan document we have will need to be updated. And it does not necessarily reflect what our current needs are. It's outdated. It doesn't have some of the secure parking and some of the other things in there. So by the time, you know, we update that and get realistic cost estimating numbers and those kinds of things, that A&E service is probably, you know, $50,000-$70,000 by the time we got to a point where we knew how much money we needed. So that was the reason for that. And then the third thing was to take 2% of the replacement value of all the city-owned properties, or sorry, buildings, and allocate that money for the maintenance and upkeep of those buildings. And like I joked in the budget meeting, I don't know anything about PERS or, you know, the salary of police officers. That's the only number I know in there, and that's, we should have 2% of our replacement value for our facilities, or we're going backwards. So, and I think we can accomplish all of that without dipping too far into the $1.5 million contingency that we're looking at right now.
Okay.
Did I cover that okay?
Yeah, I think it's, but yeah, I mean, so I have my spreadsheet here. I can throw it up on there to show you the changes that those would affect. And you can do something else.
Okay, before we do that though, does anyone have any comments they'd like to make to Councilor Powell about his ideas?
Yeah, thick skin, go for it.
Didn't they call you Bobby last week?
Yeah, they saw me coding.
That's an inside joke. I just say, I mean, all of these are reasonable. And I always have replacement value buildings in budgets, so that I don't think any of these are unreasonable. We don't have to use them. We don't have to use them. You know, hopefully we won't, but I think they're reasonable requests. So
So how much would it change the budget on his request?
So we'd have to increase the contingency a little bit because we're increasing our expenditures, not much. So the contingency would go up from 1.5 to probably just under 1.6. And then, so our reserve for future expense would actually be where the decrease would come from. And budget law allows the council to increase expenditures in any fund by 10%. So we wouldn't be getting anywhere near this because it's all in general fund, and that's a huge fund. We could do it without republishing.
a reconvening budget committee, which is,
Well, no, you don't have to reconvene that. You would just have to redo the newspaper publishing that I did. Which is $500.
So this wouldn't happen tonight? Is that what you're saying?
no,
If it was more, if these changes were more than 10%,
We can do under 10.
we can do that
Okay.
tonight. If it was over that, we would have to do a new publication and then we'd have to meet before June 30th. But we're good with his suggestion, yes.
you want to, can you quickly run through what they are, just so we have them on record?
Yeah, so city hall replacement, I don't have the page number in front of me that on like the budget document, but. I'll say it out loud, account 01-14-64050 would go from 350,000 to 450,000. The next line, 01-14-64100, senior center building maintenance would go from 0 to $7,500. 01-14-64110, Sawfeld building maintenance would go from 15,000 down to 6,700. Because we had $15,000 in there for a roof replacement. So do you want to add the 6,700 to the 15,000? Okay. Plus 15. Just making sure my notes are good. And then 01-14-64120, preschool building maintenance would increase from 1,000 to 1,500. So all these 2% were pulled off of our insurance replacement value.
Which was just, actually, they just toured the city very recently and we evaluated it.
Last year, yeah.
What would the library be?
I have no idea.
Okay. But that would be included. Yes.
We don't have a library replacement account, but we could do that as well.
Sounds like we need to start one next year.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know anything about that, but.
Well, you have in your own account, you have your building maintenance,
Right.
but not a replacement, not like a capital improvement replacement.
I think it would probably be fine if we just started that as a line item in next year's budget.
24, 25?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Work.
I'll make a note of it now though, so I don't forget next year.
And every one of us will remember it. Wait, okay. So. If I think we can pass this. As amended and direct staff to make those changes in the final document. And we should be fine. So. Unless there are any other questions, I'm going to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I move to approve the attached. Right one here, attached resolution certifying the city meets the shared revenue and the attached resolution declaring the city's election to receive state shared revenue.
No, that's the next one.
That's the next one. Yeah, back up. I was like, that doesn't sound right. There's
Go to 45.
here we go. I move to approve the attached resolution 1572, adopting the budget as amended in this meeting, making appropriations, imposing and categorizing ad valorem taxes for the 23-24 fiscal year in the city of Mount Angel.
I'll second.
Okay, Motion by Counselor Powell, second by Counselor Hofer. To approve resolution 1572 as amended. And with that, we have a roll call, please.
Counselor Donahue, aye. Counselor Hawk,
Hi.
Counselor Bab, aye. Counselor Vasquez,
Aye.
Counselor Peter,
Aye.
Counselor Over, aye. Counselor Astorga, absent. Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Our next item is state shed revenues. And that is item.
I believe we have to hold a public hearing.
Oh, we do. That's right, for state shed revenue, we have to hold a public hearing. So. Huh?
I got good at reading last time.
No, we're gonna open a public hearing on the resolution 1573 on state shared revenue. Is there anyone in the public who would like to make a comment?
Oh, I'm certain.
We were hoping. Okay, so I'll close the public hearing. Now we can move on to resolution. These are two. We have resolution 1573 and resolution 1574. One is declaring we want to receive state revenues, and the other is certifying, I believe that we offer.
Qualify to get those.
Will qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the attached resolution 1573 certifying that the city meets all requirements to receive state shared revenue for fiscal year 23-24, and the attached resolution 1574 declaring the city's election to receive state shared revenue for fiscal year 2023-24.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion by Councilor Powell, seconded by Councilor Hofer to approve resolutions. Yeah. Roll call, please.
Counselor Astorga is absent. Counselor Donahue, aye. Counselor Hawk,
Hi.
Counselor Bab,
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez,
Aye.
Counselor Eater,
Aye.
Counselor Hofer, aye. Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay. Moving right along, we have two applications for budget committee members for 3-year terms. One is by Jim Kozel, and the other is Christy Brackenreed. Both are currently members in good standing on our budget committee, and they're applying for reappointment. So I would entertain a motion to reappoint Jim Kozel and Christy Brackenreed.
I move to appoint Jim Kosel and Christy Bradbury to the budget committee for an additional 3-year term ending June 30th, 2026. Second. Sorry.
Okay,
My feelings are hurt.
moved by Councilor Donahue, seconded by Councilor Powell. W. Davis. To appoint Jim Kozel and Christy Brackenreed to 3-year terms on the budget committee. Roll call, please.
Counselor Hooper, aye. Counselor Astorga is absent. Counselor Donahue, aye. Counselor Hawk,
Hi.
Counselor Bab,
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez,
Aye.
Counselor Eater,
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. Thank them for serving. Our next item is Item 10E, Mount Angel Hazard Mitigation Plan, Resolution 1575. And that is, our contact is Mark Daniel for
That's
that.
me, yep. So as your emergency manager and all around good guy, over the last year, I primarily worked with Marion County Emergency Management Team I had a number of meetings with them, virtually and in person, about the Mount Angel Hazard Mitigation Plan. This is a part 2, the Marion County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. What this does is this plan looks at basically all hazards, which includes wildfire, but earthquake, flood, a variety of those kinds of things, and how they can be mitigated. What this will allow us to do is it'll allow the city of Marion County to receive funding for projects under multiple federal emergency management, FEMA, and pre and post disaster mitigation grant programs. This plan has been submitted as a part of the Marion County plan to FEMA and has been approved along with other agencies that are participating in this effort. Marion County Board of Commissioners adopted this plan, including the Mount Angel addendum. But we need to adopt it by Mount Angel City Council as the final step. Once these last approvals are done, the city will qualify for funding for mitigation projects under the FEMA both pre and post disaster mitigation grant programs. So just a way for us to make sure that we cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and we are alongside the county so that we can both receive grant funding should we choose to apply.
Can you give an example of a mitigation project?
It could have something to do with setting up a location for, let's say we had a major wind event or something like that. So setting up a location where people would come and bring all their limbs and all the other debris and be able to remove that and then move it, transport it to a debris site so that it can be all taken care of. So that would be one example of a project that we may have.
So if you never use the fund, they just sit somewhere.
That's a great question. I'm not sure because we haven't applied for any. And so we really haven't talked about any specific projects as of yet. We're just making sure that we can apply for them and examine them for those opportunities.
You know the dollar amount?
No.
No.
So it appears based on your footnote here on table 11-2, page 71, that obviously it jumped out to you the same as it did me, but to have the Mount Angel Police Department not identified as a moderate to complete damage under earthquake. And is there a way to identify that building in case of looking for funds?
So the City Hall, we'll say anecdotally, I don't have the paperwork in front of me. But as they were looking at, making the decision some years ago before I came here, they were looking at the feasibility of reconstructing the building, doing seismic upgrades, actually applying for a seismic upgrade grant. And apparently there is an engineering firm, like I said, I don't have the paperwork, so I can just tell you anecdotally, that an engineering firm said, no, you'd be better off just tearing the whole thing down and rebuilding it rather than trying to mitigate it for an earthquake in the future. And as you walk around the building, I'm happy to give you a tour of all the cracks in this inside the building. And so there's not really any part of City Hall that is resilient to an earthquake. If there is a area in the building that is more resilient than others, it would be likely the police department because we're in a concrete shell. But because of the roof structure and the flex that you're going to see, particularly during a major earthquake, perhaps like the Cascade subduction quake, which is going to create a significant amount of liquefaction underneath a lot of these buildings built here in this area in the valley. I think you're going to see significant flex in the walls. And the chances of that roof coming down, and actually just going straight down because of the flex in the roof, I think is significant because of construction of the building.
I guess let me rephrase my question. I believe it should be identified. And is there any advantage of going, and is there any process to be able to identify it as such, saying as JFK? So when I look at this table, it says, you know, out of all these buildings, the only one that's likely to have auto to complete damage is JFK. We know that that's not true. We know the police department should be part of that. So I'm wondering if it's worth investigating how we add that to the table and if there's any benefit on the back end for doing so.
Well,
Have it identified in the plan.
anything's possible. I mean, I'll engage the county, and I'm sure I'll be able to give you any positive results.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion. 1575.
Actually, more, I think I'm good just for the fact that the new city hall police facility is identified as an earthquake hazard in the mitigation actions. So maybe.
Yeah, they listen to me. It's just a report that is there, done by Bugamy, Williams and Madden 2022. So I'm not even sure. They did listen to me telling them that my agency, my building is not earthquake. So.
I move to approve resolution 1575, adopting the city of Mount Aigle as designated to the Marion County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Hooper, seconded by Council Eder to approve resolution 1575. Adopting the city of Mount Angel addendum to the Marion County multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. We have roll call, please.
Start with Councilor Eder,
Aye.
Councilor Hooper. Aye. Councilor Astorga is absent. Councilor Donahue. Aye. Councilor
Aye.
Councilor Battle. Aye. Councilor Vasquez.
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. Thank you. Next item is housing needs analysis adoption.
Well, Mr. Frankenmuth was with us the whole meeting and just dropped. I noticed right before we got to the agenda item. So I was hoping he'd hop back on. But he is our presenter for that.
No, let's. Gave a party and nobody came. Well, there's no sense in waiting. Let's move on. The next item is volunteer for income survey.
Sarah?
I don't think I have it.
Is there?
Back to page 134.
Very much.
So we're looking to try to find federal funds to reconstruct Olive Railroad, put storm in, and do curb and sidewalk on the west side. We believe we have found the Marion County HUD Home Art Program to be a contributor. But in order to qualify, we have to make sure we meet certain income thresholds. So before we go and spend all of our time applying for a grant and getting it and then realizing it doesn't really qualify, we're gonna spend the money up front. And have the COG do an income study. They sent me the draft letter today to review. They're hoping to mail it out and get by mail responses first. They don't get them by a certain date, follow up with a phone call. And if they still can't get it, then go door to door. So if that comes to door, they are hoping that Counselor Mayor would be interested in walking and knocking.
It's knocking docks.
I think there's 3 questions on the survey. It's very simple. How many families are in this house? What's the income, gross income for the families? And I can't remember. So I wanted to put that here and find out if anybody would like more information, maybe what date it might be, how much time you're looking at, you know, the more responses they get by mail and phone means the fewer hours that you'd have to volunteer time, but I just wanted to have that.
Doing it? When?
But they don't have a date yet. I think they wanted responses by June 24th. So it'd be end of June, beginning of July. But if you're interested, depending on what date it is, I mean, I can put your name down and I can follow up.
I'll volunteer, Pete.
Each is going to reject your offer. So.
I get a permit from Mark for my side by side, I'll drive Peter
Always comes back to me.
Anybody else dying to?
What happens if it don't happen? You don't get volunteers.
It'll cost us more.
Got any high schoolers that want to do it?
High schools, in the end of the summer,
In the summer, I got
Would, I guess one of the questions would be is, would we be provided a list of addresses who had not responded?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Sometimes we'd be
definitely.
knocking on doors and saying that we already did that
Yes.
over and over and
Yes.
over again.
And you want it done by when?
I don't have,
There's no
Okay.
time frame.
well, I mean, before the end of summer, the deadline to apply for the grant is December. But we have, we have some other things that we need to do, such as if we qualify income wise, we then have to do, an environmental study. Or environmental evaluation or something like that. So one step at a time, and I want to apply by this December, so I don't want to drag this part out if this study evaluation is going to take time, so. I don't want it to go past mid-July.
We're going through all this really so that we have access to some significant grant funds, which will really help with this project.
How many households are we talking about?
60 or less at the starting point, so it's every house on Railroad. And then every house on Marion Court, and that is it.
It's just one side of the street.
Well, that's not even. I thought-
Did I just,
No,
did I just hear Counselor Restorer volunteer?
We're talking 60 residences?
Is anybody
Maybe.
going off anybody have up for election?
Oh, no.
Sorry, what was your question?
You say about 60 maybe?
At the most, yes. Because if they get responses, then the number will go down. But if you want to just find out for later and commit later, you can. It's just, are you open to finding out like,
Bring it back,
huh?
bring it back,
Bring it back.
bring it back.
Yeah,
And you know how many?
But it might be done before the next meeting.
It has to be done before the next meeting?
Potentially, it could be.
so at the next meeting, we would know if we actually needed to do it or not, and then if we really needed to do it, then we could step up.
Or you want it done before next meeting?
It's potential that the COG will have time to do it before the next meeting.
And then they would charge us.
Well, they're charging us anyways, but they won't have to use as much of their staff time
If there are community volunteers.
if there's community volunteers.
I do.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just let me know a day.
I think my wife volunteered.
Thank you.
Make sure you have a partner, make sure.
Oh, no, trust me. It will be one community member and one COG member.
Oh,
who's
okay.
fully trained.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not like, you have no idea what you're doing and, no, you'll be prepared. It'll be-
Look at me, I'm actually out of town a big chunk of the rest of the month. So if I was around here, I would. But I'm. Out of
Okay,
town
well,
a lot. the
let's,
last few
So we
months.
have one volunteer. That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
We may have some city staff.
Yeah, and I can send out another email closer to the time, just to give you an update. All right.
okay.
I have a question. Are we gonna eventually come back to the housing need analysis at a later date or
Well,
no?
yeah, we'll have to. because
We aren't gonna have to, yeah.
We're gonna have to do it.
Can I bring up one question?
Sure.
So when I read through this and there's verbiage on page 23. And I just want somebody to tell me what this means. Line number 11,
Pages.
23,
in the package.
actually 105, but 23 of the housing needs analysis. That caught my eye. So can somebody explain that to me? And maybe I'm just not reading it right.
So right now, when the camps put in the subdivision I live in, they were not allowed to design any of their lots to be less than 7,000 square feet.
That is correct.
And this is proposing we drop that nearly 30% down to 5,000 square feet.
So that's what caught my eye. And I don't want that to happen.
I completely agree with you 100%. Because my concern is I don't. So I have a couple of concerns on that. One is without adjusting setbacks and adjusting some of the other design criteria we already have in this town, such as the front of your house has to meet the front of your garage, those kinds of things. You're gonna end up with, in the way it lays out with the city grid, you're not gonna end up with shallower lots, you're gonna end up with really, really skinny lots. And we know what that's gonna end up looking like. From that standpoint, in fact, I was just asking David before the meeting, like, what are we gonna build on a 5,000 square foot lot? The other thing that concerns me is I think that drastic of a change really needs consideration. And then also ensuring, because there was a 2019 House Bill 2001 that I don't believe we we are under the threshold currently, but knowing that the governor's current agenda and priorities, that could change. And that was something that allowed medium density dwellings on any low density residential. So if we were over 10,000 people currently, we would have to allow anything from a duplex to a quadplex on any single family lot. So take that into addition of shrinking our minimum sizing. There is a lot of concerns for what the end result unintended result may be. So I completely agree with you, Ray.
I would like to explain though, that anything in the HMA that is approved does not change the development code. These were, anything in here is a suggestion, for things that we need to take a look at or could take a look at, but it doesn't mean there would be a change to development code. That would have to do a different process.
Okay,
So the other thing that I think would need to be honestly removed, because we just went down this road 2 months ago, is anything that relates to SDCs and the methodology around SDCs based on the notification requirements, the letters we got from the Home Builders Association last time we talked about it, all the above.
okay, thank you.
Never did return back to the meeting. I really don't know what's going on, is
You have a phone number for him or?
I don't have anything.
I don't want to deal with him now. I don't,
What's that?
I said, I don't want to call him and I don't want to deal with him now.
Yes, sir.
I'll take a seat at the table.
Moving on.
I would like to have talked about that because there are questions. I did a lot of outlining too, so. But, anyway,
I'd like the motion to table it.
no. I just tabled it. I think I can do that without a motion, so we'll, I would like to have this back on the next agenda if possible.
We'll do our best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So moving right along, our next item is item H, which is an addendum that we received. The West Markham Sanitary Sewer Trunk Line Project bid award.
He did come back.
Yeah. We'll see you next month.
Oh, okay.
You're in control, aren't you?
I am. Yeah. Okay,
Message you in the chat, I know.
Okay, we are on the Markham Sewer Trunk Line Project bid award.
Yes.
So. We'll hand that over to Alan, I believe.
So Public Works and city staff recommends a sewer line upgrade from manhole 4 to manhole, should actually be 278. I made a mistake there. So it's manhole 4 to manhole 278. This project will upsize the trunk line from 18-inch to 24-inch. The line will run from manhole 4 located outside of city limits, entering the wastewater treatment plant, and will connect into manhole 278 right in front of Cypress Street on West Markham. This project was designed by West Tech Engineering with Public Works and city staff weighing in on requirements. Upon review of bids, West Tech Engineering recommends award of the bid to the Saunders Company in the amount of $1,128,808. The funds for this project will come from ARPA funds as well as sewer SDCs and sewer department funds.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? We have that letter from the engineer with the recommendation for award. With all the bids.
How many bids were there?
Oh, how many bids?
Next page.
You're four.
Yeah. 5, 4, yeah.
Is this the same company that did the Walker Meadows civil?
Yes.
Yeah, so they'd be tied into the last manhole they installed.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And they can do it yet this year?
Yeah, so, if it gets passed today, tomorrow I'll call Steve and then he'll put out the letter to, the rest of them so they can contest it. So we wait a week and then they intend to award, then they award it. And then we have our pre-con.
But Marion County has to review the contract before we sign it
Okay.
because of its ARPA and they're being very diligent.
Yes, they are.
But if everything goes right, it could potentially be out by July, I would think.
Yeah, I don't think Marion County is gonna take very long.
Okay.
Hope to get this on schedule.
Any other questions? Okay, now I'm going to entertain a motion.
I move to approve award of the West Market sanitary sewer trunk line project to the Saunders Company in the amount of $1,128,808 and its contingency fee of $113,000.
Any more, was there a second? Okay. Motion by Council Hopper, reluctant second by Councilor Peter. We approve the award to Saunders Company. Roll call, please.
Councilor Peter.
Aye.
Councilor Astoria, is absent. Councilor Donahue. Aye. Councilor Ott. Councilor Hooper. Aye. Councilor Vasquez.
Aye.
Councilor Kyle.
Abstain.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. The motion carries with 5 and 1 abstention. Do you want to share
Sure.
your abstention with
The
the
only
rest?
reason I'm abstaining is because my brother-in-law works for Saunders Company. So in the interest of clarity and being squeaky clean.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So. Yeah, we voted, okay. We can get going on this maybe. I hope.
No, maybe, we're moving ahead.
Unless somebody objects, right?
No, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Next item is the city manager's report.
The city manager would like to say, city staff has been extremely busy, as you can see, the depth of this packet. We've been extremely transparent. Matter of fact, been very busy on my side to the point where I was unable to get you the week in review on Friday, and I didn't get it done today. With that fact, I would, and I haven't been able to talk to all your directors here tonight. I just kind of wanted to go around the room and give them an opportunity to say what might be on their mind tonight. But I just want to say briefly, thank you for reviewing the packet. Thank you for your conversation. Thank you for your being mindful. Thank you for everything that you do. I really appreciate it. And so does Akita. Sarah,
I
anything?
was gonna say, don't start with me. I need time to think.
Okay. Colby?
I was taking notes, so my mistake, but
So I'm just giving you an opportunity to speak to the council about anything that you're working on, anything that you're doing.
I had one point, we had a dark last week for 190 South Main Street, double I construction, by Ivan Ivanoff was the applicant. And it was a good meeting. He proposed 4 buildings that would be mixed use structures. Commercial space on the bottom, living space above. The meeting went really well and he didn't seem detoured at all. In fact, he's continued conversation with our contracted city planner regarding an adjusted site plan. So he doesn't seem detoured at all. He has a sale pending on the property and hopefully we'll get to move forward with that so we can get that property rolled out again instead of having a vacant chunk sitting there.
Thank you.
Well, I'm
Okay, I missed it. Great.
Thanks, Colby. Jackie, anything?
The only thing that comes to mind is that I'm interviewing, or we are interviewing for the youth services coordinator tomorrow. So hopefully that will turn out.
Great, thank you. Alan?
Well, the guy's been working hard. We got our new hire, Dave Chambers. He's been doing really well. He's a good hand and he's been working hard in the parks, keeping the grass mowed. We're going to start a project out at the wastewater plant, our floating platforms. You can actually go out there and you can adjust the height on the pipes out there, the transfer pipes. So those are in bad shape. So we're going to start at Lagoon 3 and start rebuilding those. sneak by the room, get some new floats and start making it look a little better.
On the police side, I just want to let you know that, of course, as everybody knows, we've got 2 vacancies. Today, I offered, gave a contingent offer of employment to a lateral level police officer who is also a bilingual officer. And so he has yet to go through the site and the physical urine drug screen. But once those are done, I suspect he's very eager to come on board. And so we should have him up and running relatively soon. He'll still have to go through the full training program here. So he'll run through all of our FTEP processes and the training process. But we should get him out in a car. I'm hoping, should he be successful in everything that the rest of what we need him to do by Oktoberfest, which is really important. So we're still working on some recruit candidates. I'll be examining their interview stuff tomorrow and kind of trying to figure out what our next move is there. I'm not sure 100%, but whatever it is, we will be doing that. And then just a reminder, we are in the process with property on West Markham, and after this meeting tonight, we now have what we need in order to close. So we should be closing very soon.
Thank you.
Last chance.
We're gonna be going out for bid on copiers for the city. I think Public Works wants to join in, library might want to join in. We're gonna discuss with you. Police, I think, wants to join in. So that's gonna be another whole bid and thing. I've got more resolutions for you next month already. I didn't want to drop it on this one.
I do want to add, so everybody is aware that our city engineer RFP has gone out. I have either by email, by phone, or in person talked with 10 firms that are interested in bidding on our city engineering contract. None of which are West Tech Engineering. They're all other engineering firms that will approach the city for package and other information. So just want to make sure that we're all aware of that. It's a new thing for all of us, and so we're going to be learning a lot, and we'll be doing a lot, particularly scoring these RFPs, these proposals when they come in. And so it's going to be a lot of staff work coming up in the next few months as it relates to city engineering.
And you have asked for council volunteers to assist in that process.
Yes.
And I told you I would. I wanted to be a part of that. Anyone else? I'm surprised.
I know,
So there's Council File.
I would volunteer only based on my experience in reviewing RFPs for similar services.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I've done it a couple of times, so I'm a little bit familiar with it. So, okay.
Can I ask one question on the RFP?
You can ask anything you want.
Were we able to allow ourselves the ability to do a multiple award?
I thought it was already, when I read your email, I was pretty sure it was already in there.
I hadn't seen it, so I just wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity to potentially award to 2 firms at least, and so that way we had the opportunity if one had availability or performance issues, you could do another one, or for some reason we hired one and we weren't thrilled with it, we could move on to the second one without going through this whole process again. So that was the reason behind the request. So I just want to make sure that there was something in there that says we could if we chose to.
How does that work? You got a number 1 and a number 2?
Yeah, so basically, it almost turns into like an approved list of vendors. So you can go to either one based on their availability, pricing, and then it's really up to Mark how he wants to handle it. If he wants to send something out to both of them, and they give them, estimated hours in this one's invested.
We'll look at it again tomorrow.
Yeah, and we can, if worst case, we can do an amendment.
We've not received any proposals as of yet.
Perfect.
Just the request for the RFP packets. And like Councilor started, I actually met with one engineering firm today, this afternoon, who worked with local agencies or with local municipal governments like 5 municipal customers that were very interested in submitting.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you. Being that, we're on to council reports, and we're going to start to my right with Councilor Eber.
Just a comment, unless Julie's gonna bring it up, I'm gonna say it now, but, I love the radar trailers that are getting put around town, but I don't know if they're effective, but I know there was talk of maybe lowering the speed limit in towns. And I don't know what it takes to do that, but I see people speeding all times of the day. Whether going 20, lower to 5 miles an hour would help. I don't know, maybe they do 25 instead of 30 or 35, but a lot of people are abusing the speed limit. So that's something I think we should look into. And if you look at Silverton, the majority of their downtown's 20. And I don't know if we do part of town or all of town, but that would be my recommendation, is to look into it.
Are you interested in knowing what the process is?
That's all I have.
I'm not gonna be able to answer that one.
I didn't think you would, maybe by Friday. No, whenever.
I'll try to wait next council.
Hey, Councilor Ott.
I got nothing.
What ended up happening with the property purchase?
We came to an agreement at $240,000. And you're paying all closing costs. They initially countered from our offer. I initially offered 230. They countered at 250. I communicated with them that it was basically my understanding that I needed to clear that property, pay for it, what council had allocated to me, and approved at 250, which included all closing costs. So we're definitely going to be able to take care of that, and they agreed to that. And in addition, they agreed to mowing everything down before it closes. So what's the big deal?
And we actually needed to approve our minutes tonight before we could close that sale, so
Yes.
that's was the action that we took.
Yeah.
Making sure I didn't miss something.
No, we just needed to affirm the minutes that you in fact gave me authorization to negotiate that deal, and that it was proper to move forward.
Councilor Vasquez, do you have anything?
Well, the high school baseball team did win the state championship last Saturday, which is what I believe Greg was talking about.
I think
And then the principal is also retiring, so next year will probably be a little bit different. And then graduation is Friday, so I'm very excited.
She's retiring?
He's retiring.
Oh, the principal.
Yeah, the principal.
Okay.
Yeah, not the
Not the
super.
super.
I'm
No.
in the secret.
No, no.
Like, what?
she's retiring, she's graduating. Okay. I think I have another thing, don't leave. Councilor Fowl.
I just have one thing, and actually somebody called and asked me about it, and that was the hoops getting installed at the full court there between the apartments and the preschool. I know we ordered them. I didn't know if we have them yet or anything of the above, so.
Yep, they came in, and so I went to Gem Equipment. He's building the bracket. Dustin, I believe is his name,
Okay.
is getting the bracket built so we can install them on the pole.
Excellent. So hopefully we can try to align that with school letting out, if possible.
Hopefully. So Eric Watkins, he's in Public Works. He called Dustin the other day. He hadn't actually started on it, but he said thanks for the reminder. So hopefully that means he's getting on it now.
Yeah, because like I said, I was approached by somebody here in town and they said, hey, when are we getting those new hoops? So I said, I figured it out.
Okay.
We're not paying for those, right?
No, it's pro bono. He's doing it for
Jim is?
So we can't push it that hard. Got it.
That you understood that.
We can say word. That's all I have.
That's all you have? That's all? Okay,
Before you start, can I leave? I have something to do before dark.
okay, sure. You're excused.
Get scared no more.
Okay. Oh. You're missing the best part of the meeting. Okay, Council Vasquez, did you come up here? Since we get so much money, I'm gonna pay the one who earned money. So we give a check to our student counselor every year. I don't even know what it is.
It's $500.
$500. Okay, so I guess it's an unrestricted scholarship, so
I would definitely use it for Costa Rica. Thank you guys.
thank you for your work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the past 3 years. It's been crazy.
Well,
Sped by.
next year.
Yeah. Well, if we want to find someone, I can get you guys into contact with someone who can help you.
I do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I will.
Okay, so thank you. And I only have a couple other things. The flower baskets are up. They're looking good. Thanks to the chamber for that. And also, we don't meet before the 4th of July, so we have the parade and fireworks. Also, thanks to the chamber. So thank them for their efforts on behalf of the community. And I guess the only other thing that I've been trying to follow the legislature, but since some of them took their toys and went home, not much is happening. So I don't have anything to report on what they're doing or not doing. So with that, I'm done. Anything else for the good of the order?
Oh, Jackie had brought up, on agenda item 10C, when the motion was read, resolution 1573 was called out, but 1574 was not. Is that what you were?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just
read
wanted
both.
to- Did you read them both? Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I wrote the numbers next to which one they were, so I read it correctly, so I know I read them both.
Okay.
Thank you.
And if he didn't, that was his intent.
Right?
For the record, I intended both resolutions.
I know you read them.
And I should probably let you know, I'm just looking at the 3rd of July, which is our next scheduled council meeting.
Oh, it is? Oh, no.
So we're having our council meeting on the 3rd. I will likely ask to be excused that night since I will be at the rodeo. And I will be in dead center on the Cowboy Channel. Because the St. Paul Rodeo is happening and I'm one of the rodeo medics, so, but I will have a city staff member instead.
So I didn't think about the 4th of July
Oh,
being
the
next
4th
month.
is.
Tuesday.
Fourth is Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh.
I won't be here on July 3rd.
Is the 3rd a difficult time for others?
It's the 3rd is 7,
No?
No,
it's 7.
Well,
I'll be here.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
okay, I guess we'll meet on the 3rd. Well, then forget what I said about not meeting before the 4th then. So. Okay. So with that,
We'll have a meeting and then a grand celebration.
Our boss isn't gonna be here.
So you'll have a grand celebration.
okay, we're adjourned.